for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
Welcome, folks, to Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. I'm Frank Perez. It's beautiful Friday afternoon. I am joined with Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick, my two co-hosts. Guys, you can also catch us on iHeart. Don't forget that, and Facebook. Hey, guys, yesterday, Fifth Street, Rick, I think you graded our thing 6 and 3 with Joey Casano, Daniel Wages, and all our stuff. So we're back in black.
Yeah, and of those 6 wins, 4 were outright dog winners. Towson +3, or Roberts +3, Philly +4, and Utah +7. So, yeah, we had some nice money lines in there as well.
Sweet. Well, Brian, I was going to tell you, because coming up in the next segment, we have to get to this AAF debate. And the people that chimed in over here and, accused you of maybe that you may be having issues with day drinking, there is help. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can... we will support you, and there is help on Fifth Street.
So that means you're going to get me better stuff to drink, or how does that work?
All I know is, brother, you got to be crazy. This is 25-year-olds playing against kids that have acne. You have... I can't wait to get to it.
We'll continue this after the break. You're so wrong.
Oh, gosh, I just can't wait to... I really wish we could play. You have no idea. It's Brian, it's like this. You see like number 200 and number 199 playing tennis against each other. And you see, you go, this guy's good. If once 199 plays against like Federer or Nadal, he's going to look terrible.
Sure.
It's not how you play, it's who you play against.
I agree with that. Yeah, we are on the same page. We just can't agree who number 200 is.
Well, when we come back, guys, it's going to be a great show. Rick, I hope you got a big NBA card today, buddy.
There's 7 games. I have a few plays. College is kind of light card too. Only have a player so in college, but we'll get over that in the third segment.
You got it, folks. When we come back, coming up, Brian is going to say how Alabama's going to smash the Arizona Hotshots. Back in 3 minutes, guys. Fifth Street Sports.
Using an overpriced trash bag?
Pricey, pricey, pricey!
A bag that breaks?
Whippy, whippy, whippy!
Or a smelly bag?
Stinky, stinky, stinky!
Time to switch to Hefty Ultra Strong trash bags, always at an ultra low price.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
They're our best bags yet, and they cost less than Glad Force Flex, where sold head-to-head, so you'll be...
happy, happy, happy!
Hefty Ultra Strong with Arm & Hammer odor control. Also available in heavy-duty black bags.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Hey, it's Mom. Somebody forgot to thaw the chicken, so meet us at Chili's for 3 for $10. Oh, and congratulate your sister on her report card. It's not great, but this time she didn't try to hide it from us. Oh, and remember, tonight's your dad's goatee intervention. Love you. See you at Chili's.
Come in now for Chili's 3 for $10. Starter, entree, and drink for just $10. With entrees like hand-battered chicken crispers, and for a limited time, our mouth-watering sirloin steak topped with garlic butter. Together, we Chili's. Available at participating locations only.
All right, folks, this is Fifth Street Sports. Frank Perez here on a beautiful Friday afternoon in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm joined with Florida Rick and Oklahoma Brian, my two co-hosts. All right, Brian, before I serve this one up to you, buddy, I just got to tell you if you will agree to this. Okay, to all of our listeners and viewers, here's going to be, I would like to take a poll for the day, just for today. On a neutral field, 4 15-minute quarters, Alabama against the Arizona Hotshots, college rules, 1 foot in bounds, not AAF rules, because I don't think Alabama boys can keep up with that kind of speed. Who wins? I'm voting for the Hotshots, you guys. So let's take a poll here for the last segment and see who wins. All right, Brian, start making your case over here. But remember, one thing is we do have help. There are interventions available here. Brian, you there with me, buddy? Did I lose
I'm
you?
here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Yeah.
So your turn.
Well, I understand the thought process, and I know you mean well, Frank. And the way you see this is you think, well, hey, if they're paying these guys money, they must be professionals. And I know the professionals are always better than amateurs. Therefore, they must be better if they're in the AAF than if they're in college playing at Alabama or Clemson or somewhere similar. And where I think you're missing the point is it's not like this is like if we were to use a baseball analogy, the NFL would be, say, the major leagues. The AAF is not AAA baseball. Okay, it's not even close. It's like I don't know, what level of baseball would the AAF be, Rick?
I would say somewhere between AA, AAA, maybe a little bit lower than AAA, a little bit above AA.
Oh, I think it's like rookie ball. I think it's like a 60-game season in like the middle of nowhere in Montana or Idaho. I think there's okay. Let's look at it like this. The NFL, obviously, we agree that's the gold standard. If you were to think back to, say, the USFL days, right? How would a USFL team do against a AAF team?
I would take USFL.
Well, it wouldn't even be close. Yeah. That's and a USFL team would beat Alabama. I'll totally agree with that. The problem is, as you go down, okay, now how about NFL Europe? How would an NFL Europe team do against an AAF team?
Gosh, I would have to look. I mean, I would have to think. I would think NFL Europe, but
yeah, NFL, I would think NFL. Certainly in like the it's hard to use the word glory days with NFL Europe, but NFL Europe has some, or as they called it in the last year, NFL Europa, to try to appeal to the But in the in the peak period of NFL Europe, which I would say would be like the early 2000s, that was pretty good football. Look at how many NFL players were produced out of there. A ton of really good players. That's a better team. I would say Canadian football, even though the rules are different, that's a better level of football player. And I think XFL, the old XFL, not the new one, but the old XFL, that was better football. By the time you get to the AAF, I mean, we're talking about guys. I mean, I know I used this phrase last week, but they really are. These guys are glorified UPS truck drivers who are putting on a uniform and getting paid, $10,000 a game check, or $8,000, whatever they make. They are not elite football players. These are like, if you were to hold a draft, if let's just for argument's sake say that you took everybody from the AAF and they entered into the NFL draft, where do you think these guys are getting drafted, or do you think they're getting drafted? Maybe a few of them might be sixth round, seventh round picks.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but just as a little disclaimer to UPS drivers and stuff. I remember in the old days, in the 30s, 40s, and 50s in Major League Baseball, when they didn't make a lot of money, these guys sold cars and worked on the farms and that during the off season. So there's nothing wrong with being a UPS driver. It doesn't hurt you.
Nothing wrong.
Okay, it doesn't really affect your football career. But here's what I want to explain to you now. Do the math on this.
They're Teamsters. They have great benefits.
Yeah. Now,
UPS,
now here is the Arizona Hotshots. All right, you got John Wolford, quarterback from Wake Forest. You have Larry Rose, running back, New Mexico State. Tim Cook, running back, Oregon State. These guys have been out of school, graduated already. They're 2, 3, and 4 years older than these boys. It's such a
wait
big.
a minute. I gotta stop you right there. You just said graduated. That's a little bit of a. I think if they were graduated, they're not playing in the AAF. I think that's the whole point, Frank.
Oh, you have no idea right now how many people with bachelors and masters are serving with nose rings and tattoos are serving $4 lattes at Starbucks right now. Yeah.
I get that point, but I'm just saying graduated is that's a little bit of a reach. We don't know that they graduated. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
but
for instance, Justin Stockton, he was a running back for Texas Tech. Now he's been out of school, or he's been not playing in college for 3 or 4 years. Richard Mullaney.
Don't tell me you are not going to fool me that you know who Justin Stockton. I'm a Texas Tech fan. I barely know who he is. There's no way you've ever heard of him.
I got to interrupt you real quick, guys. So if you are listening right now through Sports Byline USA Radio Network or iHeart or TuneIn or whatever, and we're live, go online, check out our YouTube channel or our Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk or youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports.
Oh, they dropped. And
in the live chat, you can check out our straw poll and you can let your voice be heard. Go ahead.
Okay, guys, and then we can take a vote. No, but Brian, but just look at this guy, Richard Mullaney, wide receiver, Oregon State.
You're making my point for me. Who are these guys?
How about this? Rashad Ross, wide receiver, Arizona State. Josh Huff, wide receiver, Oregon. I mean, these guys are already out of school 3 and 4 years. They got so much more muscle and experience than these 19-year-olds.
And guts. They got bigger guts. They're slower. They eat worse. These guys would not be drafted. They wouldn't be drafted in the first round. They wouldn't even let them into the arena in their underwear to measure them. Okay, they wouldn't even be considered. Typical Alabama guy.
It's pro ball, buddy.
Well, I mean, I could go throw a bunch of $20 bills at children in the park, and hey, look, they're getting paid. These are pro guys. These guys are not pro in the same sense that Alabama. I'll be totally honest. I think the typical Alabama player makes more playing for Alabama than the typical AAF player. The typical Alabama or Clemson player is gonna get drafted. It's gonna get higher. Get drafted higher. Alabama had 48 players on active rosters last year, and 64 if you consider training squads and active rosters. So you pretty much have to think that half or 2/3 of this year's Alabama team is going to have a place in the NFL, and most of them are going to be high draft picks. It's not even close, Frank. This would be I think it would actually be a lopsided game. And then you throw in the fitness level the Alabama players have, the fact that they're lifting weights, they're on a regular nutrition plan, they have better coaches, they have more coaches. I mean, the AAF, they're all a bunch of big name guys that haven't been in coaching for 10 years, except for Mike Singletary, and I don't even can't even begin to explain what's going on with that.
But first of all, out of all those Alabama guys that get drafted this year, they're not going to start for 2 or 3 years in the NFL. That goes to show you, like, they need that 2 or 3 more years of muscle and training. I would love to get the coach for the Arizona Hotshots on our show to
Rick Neuheisel.
Yeah, to defend his case and show you just the preparation and the shape that these men are in.
Well, you could probably, you know what? They probably will be in the AAF equivalent of the Super Bowl, which is in Vegas. So I'm going to give you the task of if things go well, maybe you could get him in the Fifth Street Studios here in a couple months.
I am going to go there with the press pass and let him settle this issue. But, guys, we got to go to break. When we come back, Brian, we're going to continue. Rick, back in 3 minutes, guys. Were you? We're back. It's Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. We're also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Brian, Patrick Lewis was the center for Texas A&M. I mean, this kid's been out of school 3 or 4 years. You just don't understand the difference between a 19-year-old and a 24-year-old.
I can tell you this. If it's another sport, I understand. But the average NFL player, how long do you think their career lasts?
Is it like 4 years? Rick, you had
Yeah.
something on this, right? You know that.
The average NFL player, I mean, I think it depends a lot on position, but yeah, I would say the average NFL player is 3 to 4 years to just complete like all positions.
Yeah, yeah, it's 3.3 years is the average NFL career. These guys are spoiled milk by the time they get to be 24, 25 years old. So you can't argue to me that it's an asset that these guys are 20 and those are 25-year-old guys that have been in the league, going to the facility and lifting weights every day. These guys are driving around in big brown trucks, bringing Amazon Prime gifts to all of us.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing shameful.
Nothing wrong with it. It's I love it. It's great.
How about this?
I don't know what I'm going to do without Amazon Prime, but
how about if we made a Fifth Street Challenge wager, okay? If I think the Arizona Hotshots will make the Super Bowl, will make the AAF Bowl here in Las Vegas. If I can get Nick to get me a press pass and or maybe when they're here, if I was to get the coach for the Arizona Hotshots in this seat and he was to prove to you the speed and the size and everything and you were incorrect, okay, I'll make you a wager. If you're correct, I'll do this show in a thong and a chicken suit. And if you're wrong, you got to give me something. But if we can get the coach on here,
I will show up in a UPS uniform. In fact, if
you got to do it like
these guys.
In
if
the
these guys
same...
were good, they would put a franchise in Louisville and they would dress up the entire team in UPS replica uniforms. That would be funny. I would watch that.
Okay, but here's the criteria to that. It would be a UPS uniform, the same one that the Village People wore. Okay. So it can't be the regular full brown thing. It's got to be the Village People UPS outfit.
Guys, so I have a couple messages in from our YouTube live chat, but I also wanted to reiterate we have a straw poll up on our both live chats, both on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are watching right now on Facebook or YouTube, please go to the chat and click on the poll and let your voice be heard. Right now, we have 3 votes, 2 for Alabama. I know Brian is probably smirking right now, and 1 for Hot Shots. So I just want to put that out there. And then we got a couple messages in. We got 3 from Billy Donlin, so we'll rattle these off pretty quick. Alabama minus 10.5 on a neutral field, 41-18. He's asking if they'd play AAF rules or college football rules with kickoffs and extra points, and he thinks Alabama would win. And then we got one more from Kurt Morgan on Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. I've been doing more listening than asking questions lately. Your analysis is outstanding. I don't know who he's talking to. I'm going to go with Frank because I agree with Frank in this one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep up the excellent work.
Thank you. Kurt, I appreciate that, buddy. Thanks. See, Brian.
I got a question for Andrew. How many people, Andrew, could we actually fit into the Fifth Street studios there? How many seats are there on the couch?
Well, if somebody, so you have the two yellow seats. I'll pull it up here. We got the 2 yellow seats. We've got one next to Frank, and then if somebody's feeling a little frisky, they could sit on Frank's lap. But so
okay,
I'm gonna say 4, 5 total.
Here's what I'm going somewhere with this. I think we could host the AAF Super Bowl Media Day there in the Fifth Street studio. I think you can fit them all in there.
Just because of this, tomorrow I'm going to force myself to watch all 4 games this weekend and do my own analysis. I'm going to really see the speed of this, and it's going to be. I wish we could do it, but you got Billy Donlin on your side. Here's a guy that teases East-West Shrine games. Okay.
I think he won.
I mean, come on.
Is there any way that Fifth Street Sports could get the AAF? Actually, who has the AAF rights? I guess CBS does the big games. Who does? Oh, it's the NFL Network. Okay, never mind. We can't compete with that. Anyway, so back to my point though. before we were interrupted by the commercial. You know, I would say that the average NFL player has washed out of the league by the time they're 25. So a guy who wasn't even playing in organized football when he's 25 or 26, he's wrecked. There's no way he could compete with these guys. I actually don't just think Alabama wins. I think Alabama would win decisively. I don't think it would even be close.
Well, you're far out there already now. You might as well go with it. You know, you've left the shore. You're way out there right now, but you're going to find out that the waters are not what just because they look kind of flat and calm, it's not. I'm telling you, it's going to be a very, very bad ride for you if this game was put on a simulated issue. You know?
I was just thinking about something you said a few minutes ago.
Brian. Comparing these guys to NFL players is not what we're doing here. We're looking to see if these guys that played in college, that are playing professionally outside of college, could beat a college team. We're not comparing them to the NFL or NFL players is irrelevant, right? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make it. It's a false equivalency, right? We're not comparing. Alabama could not compete with an NFL team.
Well, we know that pretty much the entire Alabama starting roster, all 22 starting players, will be on an NFL roster within 2 years. So I don't think it's an irrelevant analogy. I think we know that the gap between an Alabama starting player and an NFL player is not very wide. I think the gap between an AAF player and an NFL player is huge.
Nick, Nick just walked in the studio. Nick, can you get us press passes to this AAF thing? Yeah, he is. We're gonna get the coach in here, Brian.
If you can't, I can get it. I can get it on eBay for like $7. But let's go with Nick first.
What I mean, wow, unbelievable. Hey, Rick, I found a moving on to another thing because you're going to be able to get your last say in here when this poll comes in. But Rick, I found a contract worse than Bryce Harper's. They got to pay this Bobby Bonilla for 3 years after Harper's 13-year contract finishes. He gets paid till 2035, buddy.
Yeah, that wasn't a good contract for the Mets back in the 90s. Kind of, I guess from what I read, they were in a real bind with money and they had no money at the time to pay him. So they asked if he'd accept this deferred contract, and I guess he said, "Okay, I will, but you got to make it, a really long extended contract." So, what was it, like a 35-year contract, getting $1 million a year instead of getting $6 or $8 million up front? So yeah, I think he's making out like a bandit here. He's going to be paid till 2035, at which time I think he'll be about 60 years old or so.
Oh no,
probably
that's
more.
16 years from now. Oh no.
Oh yeah, so he'll be in the mid 60s, right? Mid to late 60s.
Yeah,
he can still play in the AAF.
Well, Brian, which would you rather do? Spend $250 million and own the entire AAF, or 330, and you get to see Bryce Harper hit just 30 points over the Mendoza line for 13 years?
It's unbelievable. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of things. That's obvious if you listen to the show. But I'll tell you one thing I don't get, and this is not a knock on Philadelphia. So if you're in Philadelphia, don't take this personally. I was actually born in Pennsylvania, but if you're about to make that kind of money, you could pretty much live anywhere where you want. Wouldn't you rather pick the city and maybe make if you were Bryce Harper, you could pick any city you wanted to in baseball and make, say, 80% of what he's getting in Philadelphia. Wouldn't you pick your city?
Yeah, I would pick LA. He's from Vegas. I'd pick LA.
I would pick San Diego. But I mean, everyone's got, it would be somewhere like San Diego, Denver, somewhere cool like that. It might not be Philadelphia for me.
No.
But speaking of guaranteed contracts, that's the biggest guaranteed contract in baseball. He beat Stanton by, I guess, $5 million. Take a guess at the largest NFL guaranteed contract. How much do you think it is?
Oh gosh, largest. Wouldn't it be this kid now from Kansas City, Mahomes?
Eventually it will be, but not now. He's still on his rookie contract.
Oh, I would have to say, $120 million for 6 years?
No, not that much.
Really?
And
I'm gonna go
Rick,
with. I don't know this answer, but I'm gonna go with maybe because NFL contracts aren't guaranteed, so I'm gonna go with maybe 20 million.
20
it's
million.
more than that. It's actually Kirk Cousins, 84 million guaranteed.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
So
Talk about blowing cash. Are you kidding me? 84 million guaranteed for Kirk Cousins? Who's making these
how do you
deals?
like that?
Who's making these deals for these people? They're brilliant. They're brilliant. It's like, wow, it's almost like when Donald Trump bought the Taj Mahal, you know? What he paid for, he overpaid for that. Unbelievable.
Imagine if he had bought the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, wow, that's unbelievable. But when we come back, you guys, you guys got good stuff today? Brian, you got any 6-digit games?
I think I have one.
Okay, because Joey Casano has one. He gave me 2 picks today. Rick, I'm sure you're going to be all loaded. And folks, when we come back, it is Talk You Can Bet On, 5th Street Sports. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Got to take a small time out. We got really good plays for you. Hope you've been paying attention. We've been really doing well this week. We'll be back in just 3 minutes. All right, folks, we're back. It's 5th Street Sports on YouTube, streaming live, and Facebook. I'm Frank Perez, joined with Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick. Brian, we're getting really good traction here on your on this challenge that you've created with the AAF in Alabama. So we are going to be able to give a little bit more time to our people because we're getting good comments in on this. Anyways, Rick, before you guys go, let me bang out 2 of Joey's, all right? And then we can go either to the picks or you can further do this. Joey Casano is in today with Monmouth plus 1.5 and Jacksonville plus 1. That's right in your wheelhouse, Brian. That's in your 6-digit game wheelhouse.
Yeah, I love this. I got a couple of 6 digits. Rick, do you have anything on the college front?
Yeah, today's a light schedule, so I only had one play. But what I did want to get at before I actually went over that was that what we were talking about before the show, Jason Witten leaving Monday Night Football booth to go into to play another year with the Cowboys. So I'm really curious about this. This fascinates me. Is he doing this because he misses the game so much? Is ESPN kind of saying we don't want you anymore? And if you have another option, take it. and maybe we'll take you back in a year or two. I'm so fascinated by this whole situation. I don't know what to think. I mean, are the Cowboys that desperate for a tight end? They're going to a guy who's now, maybe 38, 39 years old, out of the league for a couple of years, and they have no other options out there. If not on their own team, they can sign a free agent or draft a player or two or sign an undrafted rookie. It's just a crazy situation to me. And I'm guessing he's signing for the minimum. I can't imagine he's getting much more. I would think he'd make more at ESPN than he would make in the NFL, and he doesn't risk any kind of injury. And it's just so odd, this whole situation.
Well, I agree with you. First of all, I think he's making a lot more than the minimum. And I think you are the ultimate pro for actually uttering the phrase desperate for a tight end and not making a Robert Kraft joke. So hats off to that. And I am really wondering who's going to replace this guy, because I think this is supposed to be one of the best jobs in all of sports is doing color on Monday Night Football. And I'm wondering. I saw a couple lists of names out there. I saw one of them had Jay Cutler on it. Give me a break. There's no way that's going to happen, right? I would tell you, I wouldn't mind seeing more Booger McFarland. I really enjoyed him last year. I thought he was really good.
Brian,
that's true.
I just gotta address this Robert Kraft. The man's 77 years old. He's donated over $400 million to charity, 6 Super Bowls in 18 years. Isn't he entitled to just a little relief and a small rub and tug? Why are we getting on this man?
No, he's crafty, and I don't have anything. I'm not going to make jokes about deflating balls or anything. I'm not going to go there. I think that we've said enough. We've had our say on this, and it's up to the league to have the next word.
Yeah.
So.
But speaking of Witten, go ahead, Rick.
No, I said it's always fun talking back to Robert Kraft again, but I actually really think Booger McFarland would make a great NFL analyst as the color man. I don't think they need to put him on a chair, like 20 yards above the field, roving from sideline to sideline, and just put him next to Joe Tessitore, I guess, is the Monday Night Football guy now. Put him next to him, and that's a great booth right there. They don't need the guy roving from sideline to sideline. It's not necessary. It'd be better than just in the booth in the first place.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. What if that was the punishment for Robert Kraft? Is we put him on that chair?
Wow, I think that'd be
like 6 games.
That'd be punishing us. Come on, don't do that to us. This guy's brutal.
Yeah, boy, I had to think what happened if he fell off.
Well, they put a seatbelt on him, and they'd have to put a chin strap so his hair doesn't fall off. Also, that would be a good look.
Let's okay. We can take a Witten poll too. If we think this guy should come back or not. I know they're doing it on Facebook. Okay, well, Rick, talk you can bet on Monmouth and Jacksonville in with Joey Cassano. I hope Daniel Wages, by the way, hits his 1,000 plus 3 yesterday. They lose by 2. Boy, this guy's good. I mean, he's a protege of Joey, so.
You're right. I'm glad you said that. In the beginning of the show, I said that they won outright. You're right. They covered it, but they didn't.
Speaking of Daniel Wages, he came in with a small message here. Stetson +1. Thanks for the entertainment and money-making bets, guys. So, he's going Stetson +1, but he also said Alabama 34, Arizona 10.
Oh, gosh. Brian, if you were a little bit older, I would say my comment to you on this would be that the 60s were really good to you, but I know that you weren't in that era.
We have one more message in from Dan Kaplan talking about Booger McFarland, which I don't know how you earn a name like Booger, but Booger McFarland is laughably bad about making optimal in-game decisions. He is proudly anti-analytics. No thanks.
Well, there's your answer, Rick.
So is John Gruden, and he managed to get himself a head coaching job again. He does say some kind of off-the-wall things. I like him, though. I enjoy I think he's a breath of fresh air, but I get he does say some weird things. All right. So Daniel Wages, actually opposite of my Fighting Owls of Kennesaw State was a play that I saw in a couple accounts today. So I might actually reduce that bet since Daniel Wages is wearing a Stetson hat tonight. My other play is
this guy's got one loss, Brian. This guy's got. I don't blame you. This guy's got one loss in like 2 or 3 weeks of picks.
I know. If he started to lose, though, can you imagine like the jokes people would make? Like, this guy is garnishing my wages, lost wages. But that's the thing about Daniel Wages. That's a lot of pressure. When you have that name, you have to win. There's no looking back.
Yeah,
and he has won. He's won consistently. So good job on that, Daniel. I will take my Kennesaw play with I'll probably not bet it as much. My other play is Lipscomb.
Okay.
I believe they're the Bison, but don't quote me on that. Playing at North Alabama. That's a 6-digit game, and I know North Alabama is the Lions. So those are my 2 plays. There's some good games tomorrow, but
what is the current line there on Lipscomb?
Lipscomb is.
It's like minus 13. That's what I'm seeing.
Minus 13. Minus 13 has actually dropped a point.
Minus 13. Okay, we got that. I'm writing everything down. Okay, Rick, you're on deck here, buddy. You're at the dish.
I have one college play tonight, and that's it. Friday nights, a lot of Ivy League games, a lot of Northeastern Conference games, a lot of 6-digit game numbers games. So I'm going to stick with one game in the MAC, and that's going to be game 871, Kent State going into Bowling Green. Kent State. What's Kent State's nickname again, Brian?
I believe that would be can't read, can't write, can't cover.
Very good. That's right. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure you knew that. Okay. So they are getting 5.5 tonight at Bowling Green, and I am actually going to be saying they can read, they can write, and they can cover tonight at Bowling Green. I think the 5.5 here is a lot of points. 2 quality MAC teams, after the Buffaloes and Toledos of the conference, and I think it's a toss-up game. It's a home game. It's an early start. I think that actually favors the road side here because the crowd just won't be as into it. But I like getting 5.5 in a toss-up situation. So give me Kent State plus 5.5 as my lone college play of the night. And I do have a few NBA plays, which I'll get into in a second. Did you like anything in the NBA tonight? Yeah, either one of you guys?
I'll hear what you got. I've actually looked at a couple college plays for tomorrow, but we can wait till the next segment for that. So go ahead, take the NBA.
Okay, so the first play I like tonight is actually it's the first game on ESPN, 541 Portland plus 5 at Toronto, and that would be game like I said, game number 541. I think Toronto had a great showing against the Celtics. The Celtics have just been flat of late. They haven't been showing up. Portland's in a whole different situation. Portland has been playing great ball. Toronto's played some really close games against teams they shouldn't be in games that close against, and Portland, as we know, is an elite team. So to me, this sounds like a toss-up game. I like getting 5 here. Toronto's the home team, but Portland's gonna be playing. There's a really big game for them. They're gonna be showing up, and they're ready to go. So I like game 541 Portland plus 5. Okay. And then my next NBA play was actually gonna be game 545 Charlotte plus 2.5 or plus 3. You might be able to get 3 at some books right now. I think this game to me seems like a toss-up game as well. One thing that really strikes out at me this game is the public was 78% on Brooklyn. The line has actually moved about a half point to a point in favor of Charlotte. It's a Friday night. We know the public does their worst job on weekends, and you just take all that to account. I think Charlotte is such an important game for them, trying to lock down that 8th playoff spot in the East. So I'm going to take the Hornets plus 2.5, or if you can get the 3, I think you might find 3 in a couple spots right now. So that's my second game. And my third game is actually the ESPN doubleheader game, which is I'm going to go with game 553 Milwaukee. Boy, this one, the line movement has already moved from 4 to 5 and even 5.5 at some books now. I'm still going to be on the Giannis train. I think that Milwaukee is we're talking about 2 different classes here. We're talking about the top team of the Eastern Conference, maybe even possibly the top team of the NBA. going up against the Lakers, who are in a free fall. They won last game, but they're struggling, as we know. They have lots of problems. They play no defense. I'm not sure everyone's happy with LeBron. I think this game is just going to be a blowout. I don't see the Lakers competing much in this game, and that's my third game. 5:53 Milwaukee -5 or 5.5. Hopefully, you can get 5.
Brian, how about you? You got any NBA?
I don't. I wanted to ask Rick though a couple of mock lines for tomorrow. There's going to be some really cool bubble games tomorrow. Well, not all bubble games. Actually, the first one's not a bubble game; it's a seeding game, and it's a fascinating game because you and Chip asked me 2 weeks ago to make a line in this very same game. This is the return of that game. Remember a few weeks ago, Frank, you asked me to make a line on Kentucky at Tennessee. And I made a bad line.
Yeah, Chip made a good line on that. Chip made a good line.
Yeah. I got the right side of the bet. I bet Kentucky, Rick and I did, but they are playing again, this time at Tennessee tomorrow. What do you guys make that number?
I'm going to go Tennessee 3. Tennessee's a 3-point favorite.
I'm going to say Tennessee. No, Tennessee has to be favored at home. I say Tennessee -2, maybe 1.5, but I'd say 2.
I'm going to say Kentucky by 1, and I think Kentucky wins big tomorrow again.
Wow. So you give nothing for this home field? I mean, home court's worth a lot. No question. Rupp Arena is one of the hardest places to play. I just think these are teams that are going in opposite directions. Tennessee should have lost the last game against Ole Miss. Ridiculous officiating in that game. Here's a game that I'm kind of curious about. Okay, Kansas goes to Stillwater to play Oklahoma State. I believe that's a 11 a.m. tip-off, which is kind of a weird start time. But what do you like in that one, Florida Rick? Or what would you make the number? Who do you like?
Well, what did you say this game was? Kansas? Iowa State?
Yeah, Kansas. No, Kansas at Oklahoma State.
Oh, God. Wow. I would make Kansas I'll make them a 8-point favorite on the road in Stillwater.
Yeah, I was thinking 9 or 10, but it could be 8. I think they could lose tomorrow.
Yeah, you know how much we both hate Oklahoma State here, but damn, I don't like laying that many points on the road, especially with the Kansas team who's way overrated and really not deserving of being anywhere near the top 10 and probably not even the top 20. So, yeah, I would lean to the home dog here too, especially in the first half.
So Brian, just to quote you, you would, if that line is anywhere near that area, you like Kentucky over Tennessee tomorrow, right?
I do. I like Kentucky at a pick. Anywhere close to a pick, I love Kentucky.
Okay.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Hey, let me squeeze in 2 plays for the folks. Write these down, guys. I got 2 MMA plays. Camus Usman plus 145 in the UFC, and Pedro Munoz plus 130. These lines you can take them all the way up to 20 cents worse than that. So Usman and Munoz in the MMA is going to be my selection. Hey guys, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. This is Fifth Street Sports, back in 3 minutes. All right, folks, we are back. Fifth Street Sports Talk you can bet on. I am joined with Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick. We're going to go through all of our selections, and Brian's given out a few in advance for tomorrow. Myself also on MMA. He has he likes Kentucky, and both Brian and Rick like Oklahoma State, probably getting 8-ish against Kansas, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to be getting somewhere. Yeah, 8.5, 9, I think.
So guys,
you know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Frank.
No, because mine's the end. I was just going to recap what we had, so it's better that you go.
Oh, I was going to say, I really like. You don't hear me give out a lot of Oklahoma teams. I'm usually against them, not on them. But I actually like the University of Oklahoma playing tomorrow at home against West Virginia. Revenge game. West Virginia has been horrible at traveling this year. They're a bad team, period. Oklahoma needs the game really bad. They've got a terrible conference record. They're like 5-10. But their RPI is decent, but they really need this win. I think they win convincingly, and I predict the spread will be relatively light. I'm going to say 8 or 9. What do you think, Rick?
That sounds about right. Yeah, and I would only want to be against West Virginia on the road like that. They're just an awful team this year, and especially when they go on the road in conference.
Okay, there you go, folks. All right, so let's see if I get this all right. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Joey Casano, Monmouth +1, Jacksonville +1, Daniel Wages, Stetson +1. Now we have Rick. Here it is, NBA Rick. Okay, Rick, you got Milwaukee over Milwaukee -5, 5.5 against the Lakers. You like the Portland? Is it Portland?
Correct, +5.
And then the third game, I can't read this writing. I was going too fast.
Charlotte. It was Charlotte.
That's right. Charlotte +3. College. You had who was that, Rick?
Kent State.
Go Kent State
+5.5.
Kent can. Brian said can't. Right. Brian, you like Lipscomb -13.
Yeah, that's I actually. I'm not going to pull it back, but I don't have. It's not a real strong play for me. It's a Friday action special play. It wouldn't have been a play on any other night.
Okay, so yeah, folks, pay attention to that. Of course, I've got tomorrow Usman and Munoz, both 2 dogs in the MMA. And now Andrew, what kind of a poll do we have, and did we get any other comments on our mock AAF against Alabama?
Let me check 1 second.
Let's see what we got here, Brian. This is going to determine it.
Let's look at some of your guys' comments here. All right, so we did get a message in from Daniel Wages. He said, "I don't know the line myself, but I like Clemson tomorrow. Possible upset. Haven't seen public percentage yet, though." So, yeah, Daniel Wages coming in kind of on Clemson.
Yep. Thank you, Daniel.
So, we're going to go to the poll. Let's see exactly what we've got.
I hope I'm alone in this. I really do.
Alabama is ahead by 1 vote.
Alabama is ahead by 1 vote. And,
yeah.
Well, let me ask you, does Rick, and because I know both of you guys are on Alabama, does Rick, can you vote for yourself? I mean, can you vote for your... Oh, well, then that's 3 votes. Then they're going to be ahead by 3 votes.
Here, I'll put a vote in for you right now.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, guys, really, let's work on getting this Arizona coach in here for the Super Bowl. I think that they're going to make it.
Wait a minute. So let's make sure I understand this correctly. You want to get the Arizona coach in there, and then you want to let him be the deciding voice on, does your product suck, yes or no? And we're going to take his answer, and we're going to use that as the official.
No, I'm. Oh gosh, boy, I'm getting a little music. No, I'm not going to say does his product suck. I want a realistic view, so he can tell you guys the difference between 2 or 3 years speed, muscle, and maturity.
It's like going to a car lot and like letting the car salesman talk you into buying the car. He's going to tell you whatever you want to hear. I could give you the same sales pitch if you want. I don't believe it, but I can tell you everything that he's going to tell you.
All right. Well, we'll come up with a better way to discern this, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you for the great show. This is Oklahoma Brian, Florida Rick. You guys have a great weekend. I hope we do well. Everybody, thank you. We appreciate you. Good luck this weekend. We've given you a lot of plays. I hope they come through. Joey Casano, Daniel Wages, they're also in. See you on Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern.